Hello people of the world, and welcome to today's episode of Coffee Chats with Jax. Today, I really just want to let you guys know where I am. To be really honest, I wasn't going to make a video this week. I didn't want to get ready for a video this week. I pretty much feel like crap. I considered making a video about some lesson or some topic or some story from my past or some good feels video, but it felt really impossible, and I realized that it felt impossible because it would have been really fake. It would have been really fake of me to get in front of this camera and talk to you about all these good things and all these lessons and whatnot, because you guys, I want to be really real with you. This past week was really hard. After I put out my video last week, you guys responded really well, and I really appreciated everything that you guys had to say. But for those of you who don't know, my video last week was titled For the Girl Who Was Raped. And I didn't really share my story in the video, which I will as time goes on, but it kind of put me in the situation where I had to share it with some really close people that I hadn't and that I needed to respond well, and they responded really terribly. And I feel really defeated and I feel really low, and I haven't really stopped crying for the past 2 days. And after it initially happened, the responses that I got were just really terrible. We're gonna leave it at that. And it left me feeling broken and alone. And I ended up, like, just to give you a little heads up into my process that I went through, is I ended up wanting to hide it like I used to. So I'd stuffed it all down, deep down, and I went over to some friends and I just sat by the pool, called it good. But it wasn't. It really wasn't good, and I ended up doing that for 3 days straight. I wouldn't talk about it, I didn't know how to talk about it because it hurt, and I was scared of it. I finally started processing it yesterday with some really close friends, and I just broke down and I couldn't handle it. And something that one of my friends said to me really stuck out. When this older sister type of girl came up to her and started crying and told her problems and all the stuff that she was going through and how she just didn't have it all together. But then she had to apologize because she felt bad that she was letting her little sister figure see her like that. Like, she's like, I'm so sorry that you have to see me like this. I'm sorry I don't have it all together for you. I want to be a role model. I want you to know everything's okay. Like, I have to take care of you. And my friend looks at her and she says, I like it when you let me see those parts of your heart. It helps me know that you trust me, and it helps me trust you, and it helps me know that I don't have to have it all together all the time. That's my goal with these videos. I don't know, I get a lot of messages saying that you guys like look up to me or are inspired by me, and hearing that stuff, it makes me want to have it together. It makes me want to be like, okay. Sometimes it makes me feel like when I'm going through something, it's a burden and I don't want to give it to someone, and it's actually why it made me feel scared to speak up about this, because like, after I was done stuffing it down, I realized that I wanted to bring it up, but I couldn't, because I felt like if I give this to someone that's currently like in the middle of it and it sucks, then they're gonna feel like they have to fix it and it's gonna be a burden. And you guys, I shut down and it sucked. It sucked really bad, and I shut down, and finally when I opened up about it, that's when the healing starts to begin. I don't know if this video is making a lot of sense. I don't know if there's even really a topic. I just want to let you guys into my process and to know that yesterday on the flight back to Nashville, I could not stop crying. I was absolutely a mess. I got a message that was probably the most verbally abusive message, emotionally abusive, just terrible message. And I sat there on the plane, and I got it right before the plane took off, and I realized, and I looked around me and I was like, I am on a plane full of strangers. No one here knows me. I'm about to sit here for 4 hours, and I felt like I was falling apart. I felt like there was nothing I could do, and I felt like I couldn't hear Jesus. And that was like the hardest part about it, was because I felt like this whole week I couldn't hear him, and it was sad. And I'm like, Jesus, I'm trying to come to you, like, I'm here, where are you? I need you, and I can't hear him. And so my friend told me, she was like, she shared a similar story with me. She told me about the time when she sat in her car and cried, and she couldn't hear Jesus, and he wasn't responding. All she heard was peace be with you, over and over and over again, and he wouldn't respond. Until finally one day, she realized that he just wanted her to talk to him. He just wants me to talk to him. He wants me to tell him how I'm feeling. So you guys, I've been journaling every single feeling that I can think of, just giving it all to him, and I'm waiting. And you guys, I want to invite you into the middle of that process because it's hard sometimes. It's not always gonna be easy, and it's not always smiles and butterflies and Holy Spirit goosebumps. Like, sometimes it sucks. But you guys, there was a little tiny bit of hope in my heart when I was sharing this story and when this was happening. And it's like, I was talking about how much it sucked and how much pain I was in, but there was this little bit of hope. And you guys, when I was saying that, my friend slipped this little giving key into my hand that said hope, and it's a tiny key and it says hope on it. And this morning I was reading, just trying to hear Jesus the best way I could, so I'm just reading my little devotional book. The whole thing was about how hope is a golden cord that connects us to Jesus, and that's pretty much word for word what it said. And I looked down at this little key, which is on a little golden cord, and it's little, and I broke down because, guys, Jesus hears us. He's been hearing me, and I'm trying to be patient, and I know that he hears me because he's responding in the smallest little ways. So if anything, you guys, even when we can't hear him, because I haven't been able to hear him, he hears us. He hears us in this. And I don't know what comes next, but I do know that he hears me because he does. And I'm not pretending to have it all together. And I'm really thankful that this is a safe place where I don't have to, because the moment that we start doing that is the moment that this isn't going to work anymore. Thank you for letting me share my heart. It hurts right now. That's just where I'm at. So if you want to be a part of these conversations and a part of what I'm trying to do, try to be like a voice and speak up, then you can go check out my Patreon page, which is going to be a box on the side of the screen that you can click to take you to that page, or there's a link in the description box below that will explain more about that. That's where you can support me and get involved, and we can just continue this conversation on further. Okay, you guys, I love you, and I will talk to you next week.